45 minutes left. Archangel Michael is trying to reach you, and you always skip this. Don't hurt God by skipping. Something unexpected is going to happen suddenly. Open it quickly. My beloved child, before you even blink, take a breath and listen with your whole heart, because the next few minutes are not ordinary minutes. They are like a golden corridor opening in front of you, a passage that does not wait for hesitation, a door that appears only for those who dare to keep their eyes open and their faith awake. And I need you to promise me one thing right now. You will stay with me till the final word, because what is about to be revealed will feel like your life being gently turned toward its true north. The place your soul has been trying to reach since the day you first felt misunderstood, unseen, or delayed by storms that didn't belong to you. I am speaking to the version of you that is tired, the version of you that scrolls to numb the ache, the version of you that laughs when your throat is tight, the version of you that says I'm fine while carrying a sky full of unsent prayers, and I am telling you that heaven did not misplace your file. Your case is not at the bottom of some dusty stack, and your name is not difficult to pronounce in the language of angels. It's written in clarity, in fire, in tenderness. Archangel Michael is here, not as a distant story, but as breath on your shoulder. Saying, child, I have been knocking on the door of your awareness again and again, not to scold you, but to rescue you from the habit of underestimating yourself. For 4 to 5 minutes, a certain alignment had been forming like sunrise behind a mountain. You could not see it, but you can feel the light starting to touch the rim. This is not about fear. It is about timing. It is not about punishment. It is about gratia. Heaven is asking you to give yourself permission to stop skipping the message that was woven for you, about you, through you. Listen. There is a sound in the unseen, like a lock clicking open from inside the room you thought was sealed. The unexpected you sense coming is not chaos. It is orchestration. It is a surprise that will look first like "why is this happening?" and then unfold as "thank God this happened now." Your life has been a set of rooms, one for memory, one for pain, one for longing, one for faith, and one for the future you rarely visit because you weren't sure you were welcome. Today the hinges on that last door are being oiled by mercy. Michael speaks. You have called my name in whispers and in silence. Every time you felt alone, I stood at your window like a soldier who does not sleep. I moved people away when their hands were not clean toward your destiny. I strengthened your shoulders when you thought your spine would bend from carrying what was not yours. I ran ahead into days you have not lived yet and wrote your safety into them. Do not imagine this moment as a test you could fail. Imagine it as a gift you finally feel brave enough to unwrap. You ask, but why now? Because your spirit has reached the point where hunger became decision. Because heaven watched you choose kindness while no one clapped. Because you held your tongue when anger begged to be king. Because you gave when it made no sense. Because you kept weighing up. There is a law in heaven that says where seed meets patience, harvest must arrive. The calendar of your miracle is not a superstition. It is a rhythm, and your name is the drum. Here is the hook your heart can hold on to. In the next stretch of your life, closed doors will admit they never truly fit you. Wrong rooms will spit you out because you are too royal for cramped spaces, and opportunities with your fragrance on them will stop acting like strangers. You will witness three kinds of opening. First inside, then around you, then ahead of you. Inside, a quiet thaw, the soft breaking of an old belief that told you not for you. Around you, a rearrangement of faces, schedules and resources that suddenly make sense. Ahead of you, a path you can finally see without squinting, a path that doesn't demand you betray yourself to walk it. Say this even if your voice shakes. I refuse to curse my life in its transition. I bless my timeline. I bless my process. I bless my next. You do not have to pretend to be fearless. You only have to decide to be faithful. Michael is not asking you to jump blind. He is asking you to step true. There is a difference. Blind is panic. True is alignment. Blind is noise. True is music. You are not leaping into fog. You are walking into the room where your nameplate hath been waiting. Remember the nights you negotiated with sleep and lost. Remember the mornings you blinked hard to erase the ache. Remember the people you tried to carry who were never meant to be luggage on your journey. Today grace is lightening your load. Do not apologize for healing. Do not apologize for boundaries. Do not apologize for joy that arrives unannounced. Those who mistake your glow for arrogance have not seen what you survived. Smile and keep going. A gentle instruction arrives now like a hand on your back. Clear one small space today on your desk, in your closet, in your notes, in your schedule, and name it arrival. When you make room in the visible, you announce to the invisible that you are ready. Then write one message to your future self that starts with "I knew you were coming." Seal it with a breath. These are not letters. These are keys. Heaven loves to meet us in the language of our preparation. If you are asking for confirmation, it will come in startling simplicity. A phrase you needed to hear falling out of a stranger's mouth, an overdue message arriving at the perfect hour, a door that was unavailable suddenly calling your name, a clear sense to stop chasing people who only understand your old chapter. Trust the ease. Ease is not laziness. It is the texture of alignment. Michael leans close. Stop calling yourself behind. Behind who? Behind what? You are not in competition with the speed of anyone's healing or highlight reel. Your clock is not broken. It is bespoke. I did not forge your armor to fit someone else's battle. I forged it to sit on your shoulders like memory sits on old photographs perfectly. He places a sword of clarity in your right hand and a shield of peace in your left. Your task is not to swing wildly at shadows. It is to stand where you finally belong, guard your yes, and say no to anything that tries to reduce the truth you've learned. Here's the prayer for this hour. God, I will not skip myself today. Teach my feet to honor the road you chose for me. Let my voice be a sunrise to my own heart. I forgive what tried to unname me, I bless what I must release. I welcome what loves me back. Whisper it. Write it. Breathe it. The room will feel different after you do. Do not be surprised if the unexpected comes wrapped in ordinary paper. A text. A call. An ID you almost ignored. A small yes that becomes a bridge. A compliment that feels like a hand at the small of your back, guiding you through a crowded room. You are not being teased by destiny. You are being escorted by it. There is a difference. Escorts know the route. Teases waste your time. Heaven is efficient with the hearts that are ready. You may feel the urge to cry without sadness. Let it flow. Those tears are the body's way of telling the soul, I see what you are seeing. You are not losing yourself. You are returning to the version of you that was promised before you learned to doubt. Sit with it for a moment, feel how your breath is steadier now. Feel how your shoulders lower. Feel how the room seems wider even though nothing moved. That's what alignment feels like. Space arriving without walls shifting. I want you to notice one more thing. The people who truly love you will not be threatened by your peace. They will sigh with relief when you finally choose it. And if someone grows quiet when you grow whole, let them go as if placing a book back on the shelf after you finished the chapter. Gratitude, not bitterness. Blessing, not drama. You are graduating from arguments that steal your dawn. Finally, hear the heartbeat of this message. God is not angry with you for skipping before. He is thrilled you opened today. He does not want guilt. He wants growth. He does not want performance. He wants presence. He does not want you to strain. He wants you to stand. And he has sent Michael not to frighten you into obedience but to fight for the version of you that your future will thank you for becoming. So keep your eyes on these words and let them become a mirror. You are not late. You are not lost. You are not unloved. You are on time. You are on path. You are held. The unexpected is not a storm but a sunrise, your next is not an accident but an appointment. And this very moment, yes, this one, is the handover where fear sets down the keys and faith drives you home. If this spoke to you, seal it with a small action right now. Drink water like a prayer. Tidy a corner like a promise. Text yourself a line from this message like a vow. These are the ways we tell heaven we are serious. And when doubt returns, remember this sentence. Doors that are truly yours open when you arrive as your true self. Arrive. I bless your steps, your rooms, your voice, your timing, your peace, and your beautiful, brave yes. Keep this message close. Replay it when your courage flickers. Share it with a version of you who almost didn't open. You chose to listen and haven't noticed. The rest will unfold like a map that reads itself to you, turn by turn, light by light, until you are standing exactly where love meant you to be all along. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. My beloved child, stay with me because what began in you a moment ago is still blooming and I do not want you to miss the soft click of destiny aligning. The quiet yes of your spirit finding its right size, the way a key never apologizes when it finally slides cleanly into the lock it was cut to open, and I want you to hold this image in your mind. You in a room of calm light, your name resting on the air like a promise that kept its word, your breath steady as a river that remembers where it came from and where it is going, and in that room, Archangel Michael standing at your right shoulder with a patience that feels like home whispering, I have guarded your tomorrow so you can fully live your today. There is a sequence unfolding now, like doors opening one after another in a hallway you thought was endless, and the first door is clarity. Not the loud kind, but the kind that arrives like a lamp you forgot you owned, a gentle glow that shows you where your peace lies and where it doesn't, who waters your roots and who only enjoys your shade, and as this light grows you will feel yourself choosing with a kindness that has a spine, saying yes to assignments that fit your soul and no to performances that steal your dawn, and this is holy, this is maturity. This is you becoming the answer to prayers you once outsourced to luck. The second door is courage, but not the cinematic kind where trumpets blare and banners wave. This courage is quieter, made of daily decisions, brewed in the small hours when you decide to keep your heart soft without letting it be stepped on. When you keep your word to yourself even when no one is watching, when you return to the page, the plan, the promise, and you build a life that can carry the weight of your joy, and Michael places a hand over your chest like a shield and says, "This is where victories begin, in rooms where you honor the agreements you made with your own becoming." The third door is provision, and it may not look like a windfall crashing through the ceiling. It may arrive as a new idea that fits like a missing puzzle piece, as a conversation that becomes a bridge, as discipline that turns scattered effort into a clean river, as a chance that doesn't feel random because you recognize your own reflection in it. And when you receive it, do so without shrinking, for heaven does not hand you bread and expect you to apologize for eating, heaven hands you a table and expects you to invite peace to sit. Right now, take a breath like a signature and place it at the bottom of today, and then do these 3 small acts, not as superstition but as alignment. First, drink water and call it a prayer for your body. Second, clear 1 square foot of your space and call it a landing zone for goodness. Third, write 1 sentence that begins with "I trust what loves me" back, and read it out loud until the room believes you, and as you do, feel how the atmosphere around you stops arguing and starts agreeing because rooms listen to the brave. You will start noticing confirmations that feel almost humorous in their timing, a lyric, a headline, a name you keep hearing, a color that keeps showing up, a message that arrives precisely when you whispered you could use a sign, and I want you to meet these confirmations with gratitude, not suspicion, because you have not stumbled into favor. You have matured into it, and when the familiar ache tries to talk you out of your own future, smile gently at it and say, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I have new instructions now. My beloved child, remember how long you carried what was not yours to carry and how faithfully you loved even when your hands were empty. Remember the nights you did quit out of sheer stubborn hope. The mornings you rose without applause, the boundaries you learned to draw like soft fences around a blooming garden, and let those memories become proof that you are trustworthy with what is coming. Because heaven does not place precious cargo in careless arms and you have not been careless. You have been trained by storms to handle sunlight." Michael speaks again, and his voice sounds like a horizon. "I have walked ahead of you into rooms where your name will be set with respect. I have stood between you and the opinions that weren't qualified to shape you. I have cut ropes that tied you to stories that were never yours, and I have kept a record of every small bravery you thought no one noticed." And as he says this, you realize your life is not a collection of random scenes but a narrative with foreshadowing and purpose and art, and you are not improvising anymore. You are remembering the lines heaven wrote on your heart before your first heartbreak tried to erase them. There is a peace coming that does not need everyone to understand you, a joy that does not ask permission to exist, a confidence that doesn't wear armor made of other people's approval, and when you feel it settling on your shoulders like a shawl in a quiet room, do not shake it off. Adjust it. Own it. Walk with it, because humility is not shrinking. It is standing at your full height while remembering who gave you breathe. A gentle assignment for the next hour. Speak one blessing over your past, one truth over your present, and one invitation over your future. Bless your past for teaching, tell the truth about your present desire for aligned living, and invite your future to meet you halfway by acting like the person who deserves it, because you are that person, and the way you treat yourself when no one is looking is the way heaven hears you ask for more. You will feel certain names loosening their hold on your air, certain old dreams shedding their outgrown clothing, certain new paths stepping forward without fanfare, and it will not feel like loss. It will feel like making room. It will feel like taking the stones out of your pockets before you swim. It will feel like faith putting both feet on the floor and saying, I am ready now, and in that readiness, watch how the right people, places, and provisions begin to gather around you like magnets finally meeting their metal. If you need a sentence to anchor you and doubt taps the glass, use this. I am not late. I am layered, and every layer is now aligning. And if you need a second sentence, here it is. I release what dimmed me and receive what names me, and if you need a third, whisper. I walk with help I cannot see and a hope I can no longer deny, and with those 3 lines, step forward, small but true, and let the day open in front of you like a hand that was always meant to hold yours. And if your eyes mist right now, let them. Tears are not a weakness here. They are a washing, a rinse cycle for the soul that prepares you for new colors, new textures, new music, and as they fall, imagine them watering the ground at your feet so that even your grief grows gardens, because in this story, nothing you lived is wasted and nothing you learned will be lost. I bless your schedule to bend toward what matters, your phone to ring with good news, your rest to be real, your boundaries to be kind and firm, your money to serve your mission, your relationships to mirror respect, your creativity to run toward you like a loyal dog who knows the sound of your whistle, and your decisions to become fluent in the language of peace. And as these blessings take their seats in your life, may you feel heaven clapping softly for every quiet choice that carried you here. Stay with me till the last word because this is the hour when many turn away and promise to come back later, but later is a horizon that moves with your feet. Now is a door that stands still and invites you through, and I am telling you with all the love in me, step through, breathe, soften, rise, own, glow, give thanks, keep going, and when your mind asks, what if I fall? Ask her with a smile, what if I fly in the shape of myself? Your story is not a cautionary tale, it is a cathedral under construction, and every day you choose presence over performance. Bricks turn into stained glass, scaffolding turns into psalm, and the echo you hear in your chest is not emptiness, it is the acoustics of a life built honest, and into that echo heaven keeps speaking the same tender decree. You are held, you are helped, you are headed home to the truest you. If this spoke to you, press your hand to your heart and say, I receive what's mine, I return what's not, and I rejoice in the timing. Then take one brave next step that your peace approves, and know that Michael walks with you, steady as sunrise, certain as mercy, patient as the love that never left. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $1. 20. My beloved child, Keep your eyes here a little longer because the river we opened is still flowing, and there is more gold in it for you, more clarity that fits like truth finally choosing your size, more tenderness that feels like sunlight learning your name, and I want you to let this next part fall over you like warm rain as Archangel Michael stands close, closer than your doubt, closer than your old story, saying, I've waited for you to sit still long enough to hear how loved you are, and how ready your life is for what's approaching. You have been misdiagnosing your quiet seasons as emptiness when they were really incubation, a greenhouse of grace where roots did their private work. Now the leaves are arriving, and they don't apologize for being green, and neither should you apologize for getting brighter, kinder, and stronger at the same time. This is not you becoming someone else. This is you finally becoming someone true. Feel it. The old rush to prove yourself is loosening its grip. The old hunger for approval is stepping aside like a cloud learning not to block the sun, and what replaces it is a steadiness that does not shout yet cannot be ignored. Michael whispers, I did not come to frighten you into obedience but to escort you into alignment. I have already arranged conversations that honor your growth, already removed detours that exhausted your kindness, already rerouted opportunities to intersect with your timing. You will notice it in small exquisite ways, the call that arrives when you are actually at peace to receive it, the idea that returns when your hands are finally free to build it, the person who sees you without requiring you to shrink to fit their frame. This is orchestration, not accident. This is design, not drama. Here is a practice that will shift your atmosphere in minutes. Choose a corner of your room and make it your yes corner. Place one object there that represents the future you are welcoming, a pen, a key, a small plant, a folded note to yourself, and every time you feel the old ache try to pull you backward, step to that corner, touch the object, and say, I have agreements with peace now. Do this not because the object is magic but because your consistency is. Heaven loves patterns that mirror faith. Your mind will test you with old questions. What if it goes wrong? What if I am not enough? What if this is just a flare that fades? Smile kindly at those questions and answer with better ones. What if this is the first day it goes right? What if everything I survived was training? What if I am perfectly placed for an honest miracle? Notice how different your body feels when your questions carry hope in their pockets. Notice how the room itself seems to exhale. You will begin to hear the music of your own life more clearly now. The bass line of purpose, the melody of joy, the percussion of daily discipline tapping softly at the edges, and as you listen, choices that used to paralyze you will start to sort themselves, not because life becomes simplistic but because you become specific. You will stop attending arguments you were never invited to, decline performances that ask you to betray your peace, and embrace assignments that say your name with respect. This is maturity wearing grace like a well-cut garment. Michael places a luminous scroll in your hands and it unrolls into 3 short decrees. I honor what I learned. I release what I outgrew. I welcome what fits. Read them aloud now. Again. Let them find a home in your ribcage. Let them become your template when the day asks you to choose. These words do not erase your past. They organize it into wisdom. They do not deny your pain. They refuse to let it drive, a gentle instruction for this hour. Contact one person who watered your spirit when you felt dry and thank them without explaining, not because you owe anyone a performance, but because gratitude is a door that opens every other door with less noise. Then, schedule one act of care for your future self. Set a reminder. Block a window of time. Place a note on your mirror so that tomorrow hears you coming before fear does. These are small hinges that swing big gates. You will also feel a sacred separation forming. Not war, just weather, between you and what can't travel with you. Let it happen. Some conversations will shorten. Some rooms will grow quieter. Some appetites will change shape. This is not rejection. It is refinement. Gold does not argue with the fire. It lets the fire do its work and comes out obvious. So will you. If a sign is what you still ask for, let it be this. Before the day ends, you will encounter a phrase that carries a softness you needed, a number that has followed you for months, or an unexpected kindness that feels oddly precise. Receive it. Don't crowd it with overthinking. Let heaven be efficient. And if nothing flashy appears, let your own breath count as a sign. After everything, you are still here and getting gentler. That is no small wonder. Michael speaks like a horizon again. I have guarded your name in rooms you haven't entered, and I am not done. Walk as if help is already in the building because it is. Favor does not flatter you. It fits you. Peace is not fragile with you. It is fluent in your language. As he says this, notice how your shoulders lower, how your jaw clenches, how your eyes stop scanning the door for what could go wrong and start scanning your heart for what already feels right. Appropriate section of the soul is guidance. You rusted. Before we close, take this blessing as if it were tailor-made, because it is. I bless your timing to be ripe without rushing, your voice to be firm without hardness, your generosity to be wise without depletion, your creativity to be bold without chaos, your rest to be deep without guilt, your relationships to be honest without cruelty. May your next steps be so aligned that even the scenery feels familiar, as if your future had been practicing your arrival. And when the night comes, do not pray like a beggar at a locked gate. Pray like a child with a key, short, sincere, specific. Thank you for what left. Thank you for what stayed, thank you for what's coming. Teach me to be faithful to what I ask for and sleep like a promise that trusts the morning. Return to this message whenever the noise tries to turn you down. Read it in a whisper or a shout. It will meet you where you are. You have not missed your hour. You have met it. Now let it carry you, steady and true, into rooms where your name sounds like home and your peace looks like leadership. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. My beloved child, don't scroll, don't blink, don't bargain with this moment. Sit with me right here as if the whole room has turned into a listening place, because it has, and feel how the air itself is leaning in to hear you say yes to yourself without stutter, how your chest loosens when you choose gentleness over hurry, how your future stands at the doorway like sunlight waiting for you to open the curtain from the inside. I want you to picture this clearly, a long table set for you. Not someday, but today, a chair pulled back as if a friend rose the second you arrive, and on that table are the tools your next chapter requires, clarity that doesn't need apologies, courage that doesn't need an audience, and focus that doesn't ask permission. And above the table stands Archangel Michael like a calm pillar saying, I did not bring you here to audition for your own life. I brought you to reclaim it. Feel the steadiness in that. You are not begging for entry. You are taking your seat. Here is a simple rhythm that will open doors quietly and consistently. Decide. Act. Bless. Decide with your peace. Act with your feet. Bless with your words. Decide who you are when no one is watching. Act in a way that smally proves it. Bless the path you just walked so that gratitude becomes your footprint. Do this for 7 days and watch how the hallway shifts. Calls arrive when your hands are free. Ideas meet you at clean desks. Rest stops feeling guilty and starts feeling like wisdom. This is not a trick. It is alignment doing what alignment does. Michael places a hand over your calendar and whispers, your hours are holy ground now. He is rearranging the furniture of your time so that the first minutes of your day belong to presence, not panic. To intention, not interruption. Try this tomorrow. Wake and speak one sentence over yourself before you touch your phone. Today, my choices will be faithful to my healing. Then keep that vow in the small ways. 1 glass of water. 1 clear boundary. 1 honest yes. 1 kind no. 1 task completed without self-critique. Small faithfulness is how big futures are lifted. Listen for these 3 confirmations. They will come like shy birds landing on your windowsill. First, a sentence from an unexpected place that repeats exactly what your heart just decided. Second, a sudden lightness around something you thought would always feel heavy. Third, a new appetite for peace that makes drama taste strange. When you notice any one of them, smile and say, I see you, because life responds eagerly to those who notice. I bless your name to be spoken correctly in rooms you do and do not enter. I bless your work to be received by those it was built to help. I bless your money to expand in honest ways that serve your mission. I bless your rest to repair the places rushing could not reach, and I bless your relationships to make you feel chosen without needing to shrink. Let this blessing sit on your shoulders like a warm coat in a kind winter. Wear it without apology. Now let us write a minute covenant together. 3 lines on the tablet of your day. I will not abandon myself to be liked. I will not abandon my peace to be loud. I will not abandon my path to be fast. Read it once with your eyes, once with your lips, once with your breath. Agreements like these turn vague hope into sturdy structure. They teach your life how to hold what's arriving. You will notice certain old narratives trying to negotiate their rent. Stories that kept you safe when you had fewer tools. Pack them, then move them out. You built better shelter now. You rely on clarity. On routine that respects your nervous system, on prayer that sounds like conversation, on friendship that sounds like home. When nostalgia tries to convince you chaos was exciting, remember how peace tastes. Remember how your body loves steady. Choose steady. There's nothing boring about being well. Michael unrolls another scroll and it reads like a map. Walk in truth. Build with love. Protect your focus. Return to joy. That's all, no labyrinth. No maze. No secret handshake. Truth keeps your spine warm. Love keeps your hands generous. Focus makes rivers where there used to be puddles. Joy watches for you at the end of honest effort and meets you with laughter that doesn't ask for a reason. This is the architecture of a life that fits. If today you need something to do with your hands to honor what your heart knows, try this simple triad. Clear your entryway so coming home feels like arriving. Place a note on your mirror that says "Welcome back. I missed you." And set a timer for 8 calm minutes to move your body the way gratitude would move it. Do it clumsily if you must. Heaven is not grading your form. It's celebrating your follow-through. And if you need one last sentence to carry in your pocket when noise grows bold, let it be this. I am not proving. I am proceeding. Walk with the Tatans. Proceed into calls that feel like kindness. Proceed into work that feels like contribution. Proceed into rest that feels like respect. Proceed into love that feels like home. And each time you proceed, watch how fear gets bored and leaves you alone because fear can't stay where it isn't entertained. My beloved child, everything about this moment says you are ready. Your breath knows the tempo, your bones know the truth. Your spirit knows the door. Keep your gaze soft and steady, keep your words honest and light. Keep your heart open and guarded at once. The way a garden gate swings freely but still closes at dusk. What is coming is not fragile. It's faithful. What is arriving is not random. It's right on time. Your next will not have to shout to be real. It will feel like recognition. I place this final blessing in your hands like a key with your initials. May your mornings begin with enough light to name the day good. May your afternoons carry the fruit of the work you chose with love. May your evenings fold you into rest that repairs more than it steals. And may your dreams rehearse joy so that your waking life recognizes it. Archangel Michael walks a step ahead and a step beside. And grace walks in your footprints, turning them into paths for others. Go in ease. Go in truth. Go in peace that doesn't ask permission to stay. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. My beloved child. Lean in closer as if the room itself is cupping its hands around our words because what is unfolding now is not noise or novelty. It is accuracy. The kind of accuracy that finds your name like a homing signal and refuses to lose you again. And I want you to feel this next part not just in your mind but in your bones. Like a door that finally swings on the right hinges. Like a song that resolves on the note your heart has been humming in secret for years. Like light remembering the way to your face after a long winter of being brave in the dark. There is a pattern in grace and you are learning its steps. Notice. Name. Nurture. Notice the moments that carry ease. Name the choices that protect your peace. Nurture the habits that make your future feel welcome. And as you do this with steady tenderness, watch how your days begin to cooperate with you. How errands soften. How conversations land properly. How even the pause between tasks becomes a small cathedral where your breath can pray without words. This is not fantasy. It is the physics of favor meeting consistency, and Archangel Michael is smiling in that quiet, knowing way that says, "We told you it would make sense when you stopped apologizing for being chosen." Picture a ledger in heaven with columns labeled seed, storm, lesson, harvest, and see your name across the top in a handwriting that looks like sunrise. In the seed column are every small yes you made when no one was watching. In storm are the nights you stayed gentle. In lesson are the truths you kept even when they cost applause. And in harvest is what begins today. Returns of joy and honest measure. Returns of clarity that cancel old confusion. Returns of right people who speak your language without you having to shrink syllables. Let this image steady you when reluctance tries to dress as humility, because real humility does not hide. Real humility stands at full height and gives thanks without drama. Michael touches your shoulder with a calm that feels like home and says, "You will not have to force what already fits." And suddenly you understand why certain doors were heavy. They were honest. But not yours. Certain rooms were loud. They were bright, but not right. Certain opportunities glittered. They were gold to someone else. Now your path will glow without shouting, and your sign will be this. The more you walk it, the more yourself you become. You will not feel like a performance piece. You will feel like a person who can exhale, and the world around you will reorganize itself accordingly, because reality is kind to those who stop lying to their own spirit. Here is a compact ritual for the next 3 days. At waking, speak, "I allow good to find me as I am." At midday, whisper, "I return to what matters and release what doesn't." At night, write one line that begins, "Today I honored my peace by," and let the answer be simple and true. These are not slogans. They are scaffolding. And scaffolding is what lets cathedrals become sky without collapsing under their own beauty. Build small. Build daily. Build honest. And watch how heaven meets builders who respect blueprints written in love. You will begin to crave the flavors of a life that fits you. Conversations with depth but not heaviness. Work that stretches you without snapping you. Rest that doesn't require you to earn it by burning out first. Laughter that feels like medicine. Quiet that feels like being seen. And as those cravings mature, your choices will match them. You will become selective without becoming hard. Generous without becoming drained. Visible without becoming performative. And this refinement will confuse only those who are comfortable with your lack of boundaries. Bless them and keep walking, because your journey is not a protest. It is a pilgrimage. Michael unrolls a fresh decree across your path with 4 lines like pillars. I choose clarity over chaos. I choose devotion over distraction. I choose stewardship over striving. I choose wonder over worry. And with each line your nervous system hears what your soul already knows. You can build a big life quietly. You can move quickly without hurrying. You can be strong without shouting. You can be soft without surrendering your shape. The world needs your exact tone. Not a loud imitation of someone else's confidence. And heaven delights when you sound like yourself. If you need a practical doorway right now, take this one. Pick one promise you keep breaking to yourself and cut it in half until it fits. If you promised an hour, begin with 15 minutes. If you promised a book, begin with a page. If you promised a new routine, begin with one non-negotiable action. Excellence does not despise small beginnings. It blesses them. The future respects people who respect thresholds, and thresholds are where angels stand watch. This is why you will feel protected the moment you commit to small faithfulness. It puts you on Michael's daily route. There is also something tender forming in the background. Reconciliation between you and the day you feared you ruined. See it now, your past walking toward you without accusation, carrying a bouquet of lessons instead of a ledger of mistakes. You do not have to keep rehearsing the old courtroom scene where you are both defendant and judge. Retire that theater and open a studio where you create from healing, not from hurt. Creation born of peace travels farther and kinder. It leaves a wake of permission behind it, telling others you can be whole and still wildly impactful. Listen for a trio of confirmations that will arrive like quiet bells. First, a door you forgot you knocked on will open as if it recognized your patience. Second, a person who once misunderstood you will offer new language that honors your growth. Third, a delay that felt like denial will reveal itself as protection when what finally arrives fits better than what you begged for. Greet each bell with gratitude and move forward without trumpets. Ceremony is not required when alignment is present. Presence itself is the ceremony. Michael steps in front of you with a shield that looks like transparency and says, "Stand here when the old story tries to drag you into debate." We do not argue with inaccurate narratives. We outgrow them. And with that, consider this phrase a key you can carry everywhere. I do not perform for rooms I was sent to transform. Say it before meetings, before messages, before decisions, and watch how your posture changes, how your voice warms without wobbling, how your eyes stop scanning for permission because you already have it. Your calling is not a popularity contest. It is a fidelity assignment. Finally, let me place this blessing on your head like a crown that weighs just right. May your next ideas arrive with instructions attached. May your relationships be fluent in reciprocity. May your health be guarded by choices that love you back. May your home become a sanctuary where your nervous system remembers safety. May your work carry the fragrance of service and the structure of wisdom. And may your joy grow roots so deep that weather can visit but not uproot. You are not stepping into a lucky break. You are stepping into a faithful season, the kind that introduces you to your own reliability. Hold this closing vow close to your heartbeat and repeat it slow. I will not rush my ripening. I will not dim my deliverance. I will not abandon my alignment. I will be the person my answered prayers can live with, and with this vow your steps become music that heaven recognizes from far away. Every yes you give to your peace echoes. Every boundary you hold becomes a lighthouse. Every moment of rest becomes a prophecy that you are building for the long beautiful haul. Michael walks beside you, ahead of you, within arm's reach, and mercy keeps pace like a faithful friend who knows the way home. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. My beloved child, Lean closer as if you could hear the soft mechanics of grace aligning your next hour, the quiet gears of mercy turning, the latch of an old fear loosening, the cool click of a new key made exactly for your hand, and let this sink in. You are not standing at the edge of a cliff. You are standing at the mouth of a garden, and the path ahead does not demand that you perform, only that you proceed as yourself with a steadiness that cannot be faked and does not need to be loud. Picture 4 rooms inside you waking at once. The first is wonder, where you remember that life still surprises you on purpose. The second is work, where your gifts stop asking for permission and start asking for a schedule. The third is worship, where gratitude turns ordinary minutes holy. The fourth is wilderness, where you honor the parts of you that grew strong without applause. Archangel Michael stands in the doorway between these rooms like a lighthouse in human shape and says, "Walk through all 4 each day. Balance makes you bright." This is how the soul learns to carry sunlight without spilling it. There is a blueprint being unrolled at your feet with 3 coordinates written in clean ink. Pace. Place. People. Pace. Slow enough to hear your wisdom, fast enough to honor your momentum. Place. Spaces that honor your nervous system and let your voice arrive with both warmth and weight. People. Those who celebrate your wholeness rather than recruiting you back into smallness. If a choice protects these 3, it is a yes. If it fractures anyone, trust your no. That is not defiance. That is fidelity. For the next 7 mornings, practice the 5-minute covenant. Minute 1. Breathe like you are signing a peace treaty with your own body. Minute 2. Name 1 thing you will deplete, not 10. 1. Minute 3. Delete 1 tiny distraction that does not love you back. Minute 4. Send 1 message of gratitude without explanation. Minute 5. Make 1 promise to yourself that fits today and keep it. That is the arithmetic of momentum. 1 + 1 + 1 becomes many. Heaven multiplies what you are willing to begin. You will know this season is true because relief will outpout excitement. The right path won't make you dizzy. It will make you deeply available to your calling, to your care, to the quiet. Michael places a hand over your chest and says, when peace becomes your metric, miracles become measurable, and suddenly what used to feel like luck starts looking like logistics, meetings that respect your time, ideas that arrive with instructions attached, opportunities that carry the fragrance of fit. Here is a Sabbath-sized truth: your value is not a graph. It is a garden. Some days you will water. Some days you will prune. Some days you will simply sit with the flowers and remember why you planted them. Productivity will try to woo you into worship, but joy is the altar that never lies. Build from joy and your work will travel farther with less noise. Build from panic and everything asks for receipts you can never provide. Choose joy as an operating system, not a side effect. Let's carve 3 sentences into your day like bright rails to run on. First, I honor the pace that protects my peace. Second, I keep promises to myself without the echoes. Third, I allow good to find me without shrinking. Speak them at waking, at transitioning between tasks. And before you sleep. These are not slogans. They are scaffolding. Cathedrals do not appear. They are lifted by structure. Your structure is kindness with a backbone. If you want an immediate doorway into alignment, try the rule of one. One drawer cleared, one invoice sent. One glass of water finished. One walk outside. One paragraph written. One message unsent because silence served your peace better. One honest action repeated daily becomes a river. Rivers carve rock without rage. They win by constancy. Let your constancy be the quiet legend of this year of your life. Expect confirmations, but expect them to be simple. A stranger will use a phrase you just wrote in your notebook. A long delaying reply will arrive, and curiously your heart will feel ready rather than desperate. An ID you set down months ago will return, now sized to fit the person you've become. Do not interrogate the gentle. Receive it. Michael smiles because this is exactly how orchestration feels. Precise but not theatrical. Generous but not chaotic. When old narratives try to renegotiate their lease, greet them with light. Thank you for getting me here. I have a different aegis now. Then redirect your attention to the present task like a craftsman returns to their bench. Craftsmanship is prayer in motion. Each finished small thing is an answered petition that says, I will be found faithful where I stand. Heaven loves faithful places. They hold miracles like good soil holds rain. A short practice for your relationships. Replace testing with telling. Not will they guess what I need, but here is what helps me love and be loved. Clarity is kindness in grown-up clothes. Those who can meet you there are your people. Those who cannot are not projects. They are simply pilgrims on different miles of the road, bless them. Release the tug of war and let friendship be where you rest, not where you wrestle your identity into shape. Touch your calendar and call it sacred. Not because you will stuff it full, but because you will seed it wisely. Lock time for nourishment the way you block time for tasks. Place buffers between commitments like soft shoulders on the highway, leave one square each day labeled noiseless. This is not laziness, it is low-bearing design. Strong bridges are strong not only because of what they carry, but because of how they rest. Michael places a clear shield in your hands named transparency and a bright sword named discernment. The shield teaches you to stand in the open without performing. A sword teaches you to cut only what keeps you from truth. You are not at war with people, you are at peace with purpose. Hang your courage accordingly. Say no without a speech. Say yes without an apology. Let your boundaries be doors that close softly and open surely. Write this blessing somewhere you can't avoid it. May my effort be excellent and easy in the right places. Excellence without ease is ego in a tuxedo. Ease without excellence is potential asleep on the couch. Together they make music. You are learning to play the instrument now, the tempo that holds both devotion and delight. Listen to how your body nods when you get it right. Listen to how your day stops hurrying you when you stop hurrying yourself. If the night brings questions, bring better questions back. Not why is this taking so long, but what wants to grow while I wait. Not why me, but what part of me is ready now. Not what if I fail, but what if I'm faithful. Faithfulness is success dressed in clones you can afford today. Wear it daily and watch how promotion stops being a miracle you beg for and becomes a mirror that tells the truth about your consistency. And if your heart asks for one final sign, let it be this inner recognition rising as you read. Relief like a tide, vision like a lamp, courage like a breath that doesn't run out. That is how the next chapter introduces itself. It doesn't shout. It fits. You will know you are home because you stop trying to be heard and start hearing yourself clearly. You will know it's right because you won't have to betray your rest to keep it. I bless your mind to choose focus over frenzy, your body to be treated like holy ground, your work to land where it can help. Your money to move with mission, your home to feel like return, your friendships to hold room for real laughter and honest silence, your sleep to repair what ambition cannot touch. Walk forward now, not as a beggar at a gate but as a keeper of keys. Michael is beside you, already briefed on the route, already making introductions in rooms you will enter calm and ready. The future is not a storm to survive. It is a table set with your name card waiting. Take your seat. If you wish to express your support further,